Good morning, all of you beautiful souls. We're so thankful that you have made it this morning. We'd like to welcome you to Nakama Center on Shekinah Farm. Nakama is a Hebrew word for comfort and consolation. Our goal is to provide comfort to those who are seeking restoration and a safe space to authentically seek your truth and find your journey. Shekinah there's a little message there. Shekinah is a Hebrew word for the surrounding presence of the divine source. We are a 508c1a faith-based organization. Our faith in a divine source, community, and plant-based sacraments stem from prehistoric and ancestral practices and personal experiences of our modern members. This source has provided plant-based sacraments and are one of the greatest creations that nature offers, raising our awareness to the divine so that we can access a direct connection to the source of all life. It is our sincere belief that the consumption of sacred medicines is a communion which brings us closer to what is commonly called God. We understand this concept of God as pure consciousness and energy which permeates all beings, also known as the Spirit. This pure consciousness is, we believe, the ineffable source of creation and the origin of health and well-being. Our vision is to be a sacred and safe space for the connection of community in support of mental, physical, and spiritual ascension to the divine in all creation. Our mission is to provide a safe space and sacred space where individuals can commune with the divine, support one another, and awaken to their highest potential. We believe that all life thrives through connection and restoration. We believe that by fostering a private and nurturing environment, we offer guidance, integration, and spiritual support, empowering each person to walk in their unique path of growth, self-realization, and transformation. Why do we do this? We believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person and their right to seek and connect with the divine. True restoration comes through comfort, connection, and sacred communion, with allowing each individual to awaken to their highest potential. How do we do this? We create a sacred and safe space where individuals and communities can embark on their spiritual journeys in an environment of love, connection, and nature. Through opportunities for communion with the divine, guidance, and integration, we support both shared and individual experiences that foster deep transformation. What do we do? Nakama Spiritual Center provides a natural spiritual retreat, offering spiritual counseling, guidance, and compassionate support. We hold sacred journeys, ceremonies, and sacraments that restore well-being and deepen divine connection. As a tapestry of souls, we gather in communion, nurturing a shared purpose and empowering one another to transcend limitations. Through this deep spiritual connection, we awaken to the boundless possibilities within and step forth as beacons of light, love, and wisdom. This morning we will begin with a prayer and short guided meditation, followed by readings to facilitate our journal prompt and the discussion following the service. Prior to our discussion, we will share announcements, updates, and community news. We invite you now to find a comfortable space and settle in to be present as we begin our service. Just as the colors of the rainbow unite to make one light, God far above and God deep within, the divine and Shekinah unite in community. Transcending unites with immanence, one and one become one. We join together in community, together reflecting the divine splendor. We are the colors of the rainbow uniting to make one light. The glorious holy throne is here where we meet, ready for the divine to rest upon us. This sacred space uplifts us, here where electrons dance in the interplay of being and nothingness draws our hearts together. Binary code flickering through space, making us present to each other and to the radiance of this day. We crown her from below, and she enfolds us in new supernal souls, so that our service will be blissful and praiseful, joyful and radiant, as with shining faces we approach our prayer. Let's take a few moments to breathe and communicate individually with our divine as we are comfortable. While we are still in this mindfulness state, centered on our devotion to the divine, I invite us all to place our hands on our hearts as we take a few moments to send loving intention to our ancestors and the divine for healing through community, sacrament, spiritual awakening, and to all who cultivate or consume sacred plants. Without the Creator, communion of our members, and these sacred gifts, this community would not exist. The healing done by the Creator through community and sacraments is not limited to the times when we consume or commune, but extends into all aspects of our lives and spreads like a mycelium around our world. It is through intention and attention that we call forth the healing power of the divine, of the sacrament, and the community that we have formed around our common understanding. Let us use our ever-expanding awareness to bring greater peace and healing to our world. Let us radiate gratitude from our hearts to our Creator, to our community, and to those who cultivate healing plants. For these gifts impart healing to those who commune with love and sincerity. We become aware of the oneness of life, the knowing that we live in all things and that all things live in us. Let us apply this understanding to all of our relationships and aid us in our journey as members of the human family. We use many different texts, believing that no single text holds all truth. As we begin our readings this morning, let us reflect on those in our journal writings, and we'll have a discussion after that. This morning, we'll be talking about sacred practices, rituals, symbols, and the path to the divine. We will have an opportunity to explore what we've journaled during our discussion following our service, and we will have some music during the time of our journaling. I will leave the picture up with the information from the readings for each journaling session. So, sacred practices, and this I thought would be quite interesting to hear what other people are doing, and to hear about why sacred practices are so important. So our readings, Algernon Blackwood stated, "Ritual is a passageway of the soul to the infinite." Jack Kornfield said, "Every sacred tradition has known that inner transformation requires daily practice." Soren Kierkegaard tells us, "Prayer does not change God, but it changes the one who prays, him who prays." C.S. Lewis spoke of symbolism when he said, "Symbolism exists precisely for the purpose of conveying to the imagination what the intellect is not ready for." Rumi tells us, "When you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving in you, a joy." And Swami Sivananda tells us, "Meditation is the dissolution of thoughts in eternal awareness or pure consciousness." So I want you to consider what feelings, thoughts, and ideas these readings brought up for you while we and do some journaling on those while we listen to some music. All right, let's go ahead and wrap up our thoughts as we move into the next portion of our service. The next 2 pages of readings are from sacred texts and traditional cultural beliefs. Our readings come from multiple different texts, as I mentioned earlier, because we believe there are universal truths and truths held within all belief systems. And so we hear all of their words and draw those conclusions that are necessary for us to learn. In Buddhism, from the Dhammapada, it says, just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life. In the Tao, the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. In Hinduism, he who sees all beings in his own self and his own self in all beings loses all fear. In Christianity, the Psalms tell us, be still and know that I am God. And in Zen Buddhism, there's a proverb that tells us, do not seek to follow in the footsteps of the wise. Rather, seek what they sought. In traditional beliefs, the Native American Lakota wisdom tells us the sacred pipe is a bridge between the physical and the spiritual worlds. In traditional Hindu belief, they say lighting a lamp symbolizes the removal of darkness and the presence of divine wisdom. In African Yoruba wisdom, it tells us a person without rituals is like a river without a source. In my own personal Celtic tradition, it tells us to circle the fire 3 times in ritual, for it brings alignment with the sacred. In Japanese Shintoism, it says purification with water cleanses both mind and spirit. In Sufi teachings, the whirling in dance, the dervish, while whirling in dance, the dervish dissolves the self to become one with the divine. Again, in your reflection, as we're reading each of these pages, let's journal about what feelings, thoughts, and ideas come up for us in these readings, or readings that particularly resonate with you, so that we can have a discussion at the end. And I'll turn some music on so we can journal. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap up our thoughts as we move into the next portion of our service. We had a wonderful activity last weekend. We had our rock wrapping. It was very, very enjoyable. We learned a lot in our sand terrain where we opened up our psyche to the world and to ourselves to make things more visible. And a wonderful integration session after that. So I thank everyone for attending last week. We had a really good time. Let's see, we have a newsletter now, so please go to our website and sign up for our newsletter. We are sending out information on upcoming activities. We also put in links to the Flow, which is our weekly article that talks about our service each week. And we also have announcements about upcoming activities, where we'll be, and different things like that. We don't necessarily know what the Spirit will lead us to talk about during our services, so those topics will not be expounded on in the newsletter. Watch for our announcements in our Facebook page. That's where we'll do the announcement for our different things. We also still have membership options that are listed on the website, and if you become a member, you have access to our Discord where we continue our conversations and put links to our YouTube videos and announcements of any upcoming activities and events, places that will be. Did want to announce, and I'll do this several times beforehand, that in April on the 12th we will be at the Spirit of Spring event in Huntsville, Alabama, with our prayer labyrinth or meditation labyrinth. We will also be I think on the 19th, we will be at an organization, a Veterans of Foreign Wars organization event called Spring Self-Care Saturday or something. And I don't have the details on that, but I will post those in the calendar on our website. And please be aware that we also, the one is going to be in Athens, I believe, the Veterans of Foreign Wars on the 19th. Please be aware that if there are upcoming activities that we're participating in that are not necessarily our activity, we will also post that up. There's a, coming up, a spring equinox event, because at the end of the month of March, if you are planning on taking advantage, we're hoping to be there as well. And that's put on by Medusa Roxy. And so you'll find that information also in our calendar. So please go and visit the website, check out the calendar, the new calendar of events. It updates as my Google Calendar updates, so you'll be able to find it pretty regularly, anything that's new that's coming up. So keep up with that. And again, if you would, you can also participate with conversation afterwards in the Discord, the membership Discord. You're welcome to participate in that as well. Membership, of course, is up there. It's a monthly contribution of $10, $20, or $30, or a contribution of your choice. And so it's quite affordable. If you can't afford the membership and you would like to participate, please reach out through our website, through our email, spirithealing142@gmail.com. Anyway, all right. And we'll do our closing. So getting our hearts and minds prepared, we will seek the divine one last time. Our divine, we come before you broken and in need of healing. You are our true guide and creator. Act benevolently toward us for the sake of your holy nature. Renew our mind, provide for us a good week. Remove all harsh decrees from against us, annul the intentions of our enemies, foil the plans of our foes, wipe out every oppressor and adversary from against us. Close the mouths of our accusers. Remove pestilence, sword, famine, captivity, and destruction from us. Withhold any plague that pursues us. Pardon and forgive our injustices. Blot out and remove our indiscretions from before your eyes. Erase all the records of our indebtedness. Bring us to you in wholeheartedness and sincerity. Send a complete healing to the sick. Shred the evil decreed against us, and remember us with your favor. We've come together with intentions of service to the land and all of its inhabitants. It is in our hearts to go forth into the world with the collective consciousness. We encourage you to stay for continued fellowship and conversation around our readings today. And for those unable to stay, we thank you for being with us and wish you a great week ahead. As we further our conversation, please remember that all perspectives are welcome as we search for the spiritual truth that unites us all. Please remember that we are not a therapeutic organization or a medical organization. Statements made by the moderator or members of Nakama are their own, and we are here discovering and exploring along with you. All right, please join us next week at 10:30 on Sunday, Central Time, for our weekly service. We look forward to seeing you then. Peace be with you.